Hi guys. So we are in the practice book, lesson 8.5, Interpret Division with Fractions. This looks like it's a bunch of word problems. So let's see what we can do with them. Number one. Daniel has a piece of wire that is half a yard long. Oh, sorry. We already have number one done. Number two. Vita has a piece of ribbon that is 5 meters long. She cuts the ribbon into pieces that are each 1/3 meter long. How many pieces does she cut? So I have a 5 meter long ribbon and I'm dividing it into 1/3 pieces. Now remember, the 5 stays the same. The divide becomes multiply and the 1/3 flips. So the 3 goes on the top, the 1 goes on the bottom. We multiply across. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 1 is 1. So we end up with 15 strips. Number 3. Leah has 3 muffins. She cuts each muffin into fourths. How many 1/4 muffin pieces does she have? So we're drawing the diagram. 1, 2, 3 muffins cut into fourths. So 3 times 4 is 12. Number 4. 2 friends share 1/4 of a gallon of lemonade equally. What fraction of the gallon of lemonade does each friend get? So first off, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 1/4 of a gallon of lemonade. And then we split it between 2 people. Okay? So the part where it overlaps is 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 8 parts, or 1/8. Come on, focusing. Number 5. Write a story problem to represent 3 divided by 1/2. Okay, where will we have 3 of something that we were dividing it by 2? Dividing each of the 3 into 2 pieces. Okay. I cut 3 pieces of paper in half. How many pieces do I have? Good enough. Number 6. Write a story problem representing 1/4 divided by 2. So I have 1/4 of something and I'm dividing it in, and I'm giving it to 2 different people. Okay. I have 1/4 cup of peanuts. I am going to share them with my friend. How much peanuts will we each get? How much peanuts will we each get? Okay? Or how Yeah, it'd have to be how much, not how many, because we're not counting the actual number of peanuts, we're counting the cups. Number 7, Spencer has a third a pound a bag of nuts. He divides the nuts equally into 4 bags. What fraction of a pound of nuts is in each bag? Number 7, so we're dividing a third of a pound into 4 bags. So we rewrite that 1/3, division becomes multiplication, 4 become flips. Remember, we have an invisible imaginary 1 underneath there, and becomes 1/4. 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 4 is 12. Number 8, Huma has 3 apples. She slices each apple into 8. How many 8 slices is she going to have? 3 divided into 8ths. The 3 goes over, the division becomes multiplication, the 1/8 flips, becomes 8 over 1. 3 times 8 is 24. 1 times 1 is 1. So we can get rid of that one. There we go. Yeah, we're doing just fine on time. Let's look at the back. Number 1, I'm on P166 now. Number 1, Abigail has half a gallon of orange juice. She divides the juice equally into 6 glasses. What equation represents the fraction of a gallon of orange juice in each glass? Okay. So we have a half a gallon of orange juice, and then we're dividing it up into 6 glasses. Sorry, not 3. Dividing it up into 6 glasses. Half stays the same. Divide becomes multiply. 6 has an imaginary 1 underneath it. We flip it, so it becomes 1 over 6. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 6 is 12. So we end up with 1/12 of a gallon in each glass. Number 2, write an expression to represent the following situation. Riley has a piece of wire that is 4 yards long. He cuts it into 1/2 pieces. Pieces that are 1/2 yard long. How many pieces is he going to have? Again, first number stays the same. Division sign becomes multiplication. Second number flips. So the 2 goes on top, the 1 goes on the bottom. 4 times 2 is 8. The imaginary 1 times the 1. 1 times 1 is 1. We don't need it. So there we are at 8. Next year you will be doing this as well, but we won't be doing the whole let's make models and all of that kind of stuff. We're going to go straight to the part where, all right, you write down the first number, you change the division to multiplication, and you flip the second number, and there we go, we got it. So if there's one thing that you get out of this section, this is what I really want you to get out of it. That the first number stays the same, the division becomes multiplication, and the second number flips. Okay? That's what I really want you to get out of it. That is by far the most important part for you going forward. Number 3. Hannah buys 2/3 of a pound of roast beef. She uses 1/4 of a pound to make her lunch. How much does she have left? So it's going to be a subtraction problem. I cannot subtract that. I have 2 different denominators. I have a 3 for a denominator and a 4 for a denominator. Can't subtract that. But I know I can get a common denominator by multiplying them by each other. So 3 times 4 and 4 times 3. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So 2 times 4 is 8 over 3 times 4, which is 12. Down here, 1 times 3 is 3 over 4 times 3, which is 12. Subtract the numerators. 8 minus 3 is 5 over 12. And we end up with 5/12 of the roast beef is left. Number 4. Alex buys 2.5 pounds of grapes. He buys 1 1/4 times as many pounds of apples as grapes. How many pounds of apples does Alex buy? So I have 2.5 times 1 1/4. I cannot multiply like that. I have to change them into improper fractions first. Okay. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 2, times 1 times 4 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 4. All right, remember, whole number times the denominator, add on the numerator, put it all over the denominator. We've done this before. So let's try this. 5 times 5 is 25. 2 times 4 is 8. And then we need to divide this out. So 8 goes into 25 how many times? 8 times what is close to 25? Well, 8 times 3 is 24, so let's go with that. 5 minus 4 is 1. 1/8. So 3 1/8 ends up being our final answer. Number 5. Maritza's car has 16 gallons of gas in the tank. She uses 3/4 of the gas. How many gallons of gas does Maritza use? So we have 16 gallons of gas in the tank, and then we use 3/4 of it. So we are multiplying by the 3/4. Yeah, we can do this. Okay. 16 times 3. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1, 4. So I have 48 over, and then remember, we have that imaginary 1 there, so 1 times 4 is 4. Now let's divide that out. 4 into 48. 4 goes into 4 one time. 4 minus 4 is 0. Bring down the 8. 4 goes into 8. 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. We have a 0. So it is equal to 12. And finally, number 6. Says, Jamie has a board that is 8 feet long. He cuts the board into 3 equal pieces. How long is each piece? 8 divided by 3. Well, how many times does 3 go into 8? 3 times 2 is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. So we bring the 2 up here, we put it over the 3, and I have 2 2/3 feet. Okay? That's everything for that particular one. So tomorrow, this is actually the end of this particular chapter. So tomorrow we're going to do the chapter review. Talk to you later. Bye.